The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. The most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Only two things we'll regret on our deathbed: that we are a little loved and little traveled. Do right, and you will be conspicuous. When your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look, it's a sure sign you're getting old. The man who was a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. Wrinkles should merely indicate where the smiles have been. Be good, and you will be lonesome. I'll say how hard it is that we have to die. A strange complaint from the mouths of people who have had to live. Better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you're a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. April 1st. This is the day upon which we are reminded of what we are on the other 364. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Good breeding consists in concealing how much we think of ourselves and how little we think of the other person. The truth must be served like a coat, and not thrown in the face like a wet towel. Grief can take care of itself, but to get full value of a joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. When people do not respect us, we are sharply offended. Yet in his private heart, no man respects himself much. Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. A pessimist is an optimist who didn't arrive. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Buy land, and they're not making it anymore. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. When in doubt, tell the truth. An honest man in politics shines more than he would elsewhere. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. An intelligent person never shares three things with anyone: their innermost fears, past regrets, and ultimate excuse for showing up late. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you would rather not. Of all the things I have lost, I miss my mind the most. A truth is not hard to kill, and a lie told well is immortal. Moral: keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. In certain trying circumstances, urgent circumstances, desperate circumstances, profanity furnishes a relief, denied even to prayer. Circumstances make man, not man's circumstances. Better a broken promise than none at all. Men will do many things to get themselves loved. They will do all things to get themselves envied. Concerning the difference between man and the jackass, some observers hold that there isn't any. Life is short. Break the rules, forgive quickly, kiss slowly, love truly, laugh uncontrollably, and never regret anything that makes you smile. There are several good protections against temptation, but the surest is cowardice. To be busy is man's only happiness. A patriot is the person who can holler the loudest without knowing what he is hollering about. No real gentleman will tell the naked truth in the presence of ladies. The causes of events are ever more interesting than the events themselves. A friend is a second self. To study philosophy is nothing but to prepare oneself to die. The reward of friendship is friendship itself. Old age, the crown of life, our play's last act. Freedom is participation in power. The life given us by nature is short, but the memory of a well-spent life is eternal. Knowledge, which is divorced from justice, may be called cunning rather than wisdom. If faith does not give you something, it means that it protects you from something. The authority of those who teach is often an obstacle to those who want to learn. The greatest victory is victory over yourself. The function of wisdom is to discriminate between good and evil. The face is a picture of the mind, with the eyes as its interpreter. The love you give in life keeps people alive beyond their time. A mental stain can neither be blotted out by the passage of time nor washed away by any waters. Books are more than books. They are the life, the very heart and core of ages past. The wise are instructed by reason, average minds by experience, the stupid by necessity, and the brute by instinct. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to always remain a child. The greatest virtue of a speaker is not only to say what is necessary, but also not to say what is not necessary. Happiness should be asked from God. Wisdom should be acquired by yourself. Nature herself has imprinted on the minds of all the ideas of God. Even those philosophers who wrote treatises against fame did not forget to put their name in the title of their book. If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you have started. We must not say every mistake is a foolish one. Books are unfailing companions. A room without books is like a body without a soul. To exclude friendship from life is the same as to deprive the world of sunlight. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. The reason why men worked and died, the essence and quintessence of their lives. True law is right reason in agreement with nature. In fears and danger, we are more inclined to believe in miracles. It is foolish to tear one's hair in grief, as though sorrow would be made less by baldness. We need to eat and drink enough, so that our strength is restored and not suppressed. A mind without instruction can no more bear fruit than can a field, however fertile, without cultivation. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. History is the witness that testifies to the passing of time. Any man can make mistakes, but only an idiot persists in his error. Freedom will bite back more fiercely when suspended than when she remains undisturbed. Ability without honor is useless. To be content with what we possess is the greatest and most secure of riches. He who has money cannot be punished. We are bound by the law so that we may be free. It is of universal application, unchanging and everlasting. The more honest a man is, the less he suspects others of dishonesty. If we are not ashamed to think about it, we should not be ashamed to say it. Your enemies can kill you, but only your friends can hurt you. The task of the educated mind is simply to read, to lead. A low soul always presupposes the lowest motives for noble deeds. To teach is a necessity. To please is sweetness. To persuade is a victory. You are bound by the law so that you may be free. Silence is one of the great arts of conversation. The life of the dead is set in the memory of the living. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt. I am a slow walker, but I never walk back. Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends? No man is good enough to govern another man without the other's consent. One day you will regret that you did not hear these quotes earlier. Do not lose the opportunity. Watch our next video. No man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. Those who look for the bad in people will surely find it. I would rather be a little nobody than to be an evil somebody. We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses. When you feel discouraged, seek healing in labor. I don't like Batman. I must get to know him better. That some achieve great success is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. In the end, it is not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Whenever I hear anyone arguing for slavery, I feel a strong impulse to see it tried on him personally. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and man. Virtue has never been as respectable as money. A baby is an inestimable blessing and bother. There are no people who are quite so vulgar as the over-refined ones. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. When you fish for love bait with your heart, not your brain. Man was made at the end of the week's work when God was tired. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. The average human being is a perverse creature, and when he isn't that, he is a practical joker. You can't reason with your heart. It has its own laws and thumps about things which the intellect scorns. After all these years, I see that I was mistaken about Eve in the beginning. It is better to live outside the garden with her than inside it without her. It takes much to convince the average man of anything, and perhaps nothing can ever make him realize that he is the average woman's inferior. No civilization can be perfect until exact equality between men and women is included. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side, which he never shows to anybody. Take any type of woman, and you will find in it something to respect, something to admire, something to love. My works are like water. The works of the great masters are like wine. But everyone drinks water. The noblest work of God is man, who found it out, man. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. Some civilized women would lose half their charm without dress, and some would lose all of it. No woman or man really knows what perfect love is until they have been married a quarter of a century. Often it does seem such a pity that Noah didn't miss the boat. Always obey your parents when they are present. This is the best policy in the long run, because if you don't, they will make you. Each race determines for itself what indecencies are. Nature knows no indecencies. Man invents them. The universal brotherhood of man is our most precious possession, what there is of it. The man who was a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. If I cannot swear in heaven, I shall not stay there. Loyalty to petrified opinions never yet broke a chain or freed a human soul. The secret source of humor itself is not joy, but sorrow. We can secure other people's approval if we do it right and try hard, but our own is worth a pound of it. There is no character, however good and fine, but it can be destroyed by ridicule, however poor and witless. A man may have no bad habits and have worse. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. Always acknowledge fault, frankly. This will throw those in authority off guard and give you an opportunity to make a choice. Buy land, they're not making it anymore. It is a wise child that knows its own father, and an unusual one that unreservedly approves of him. To believe yourself brave is to be brave. Conscience takes up more room than all the rest of a person's insides. In order to make a man or a boy covet a thing, it is only necessary to make the thing difficult to attain. A sin takes on new and real terrors when there seems a chance that it is going to be found out. We should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it and stop there. When angry, count to 4. When very angry, swear. The more things are forbidden, the more popular they become. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has laid an egg cackles as if she had laid an asteroid. There are not enough morally brave men in stock. We are out of moral courage material. Modesty died when clothes were born. Prosperity is the best protector of principle. A person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. The man with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. I tell the truth. Lying as by the fire of experience, so by commission of crime, you learn real morals. There is no such thing as a new joke. When in doubt, tell the truth. I have made it a rule never to smoke more than 1 cigar at a time. It is the little conveniences that make the real comfort of life. Some people lie when they tell the truth. Unexpected money is a delight. The same sum is a bitterness when you expect more. There are people who can do all fine and heroic things, but one keep from telling their happiness to the unhappy. Do not put off till tomorrow. What can be put off till day after tomorrow just as well. Truth is the most valuable thing we have. Let us economize it. The exercise of an extraordinary gift is the supremest pleasure in life. I never could tell a lie that anyone would doubt, nor a truth that anyone would believe. Thunder is good. Thunder is impressive. But it is the lightning that does the work. It is human to exaggerate the merits of the dead. I like a good story well told. That is the reason I am sometimes forced to tell them myself. I'll say how hard it is that we have to die. A strange complaint coming from the mouths of people who have had to live. One of the striking differences between a cat and a lie is that a cat has only 9 lives. 24 years ago, I was strangely handsome, the remains of it still visible through the rifts of time. I can't stand George Eliot and Hawthorne and those people. I see what they are at 100 years before they get to it, and they just tire me to death. Pain of regret is so much worse than pain of discipline. It was a high counsel that I once heard given to a young person. Always do what you are afraid to do. A tiger doesn't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Only put off until tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Never let the odds keep you from doing what you know in your heart you are meant to do. Some people think that if their opponent plays a beautiful game, it's okay to lose. I don't. You have to be merciless. Only put off until tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone. One day, your life will flash before your eyes. Make sure it's worth watching. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we live. Whoever is happy will make others happy too. Live in the sunshine, swim the sea, drink the wild air. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. Love doesn't make the world go around. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile. Today, I do what others won't, so that tomorrow I can accomplish what others don't. Pay attention to your enemies, for they are the first to discover your mistakes. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path, and leave a trail. Be like the flower that gives fragrance to the hand that crushes it. You will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. Talent is luck. The important thing in life is courage. Do not wait to strike till the iron is hot, but make it hot by striking. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. We must overcome the notion that we must be regular. It robs you of the chance to be extraordinary and leads you to the mediocre. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. Seek opportunity, not security. A boat in a harbor is safe, but in time, its bottom will rot out. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Courage isn't having the strength to go on. It's going on when you don't have strength. The greatest mistake you can ever make in life is to be continually fearing that you will make one. A happy person is not a person in a certain set of circumstances, but rather a person with a certain set of attitudes. Thank you for watching the entire video. If this video is good, please leave comment number 1 and subscribe to the channel to watch the next videos.